Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Heritage. And today we are looking at yet another UNESCO heritage site. Although, I think we might have set a record here. We're not looking at an old UNESCO heritage site. No, we're looking at one of the latest UNESCO World Heritage sites. And as the screen obviously shows, we're looking at the historic center of Odessa, which is in Ukraine.
Yes, Odessa is a 2023 addition to the UNESCO World Heritage List, which makes it going to probably be for a very long time the reigning champion on the most recent addition to this list that we covered.
Woo!
So,
Go Ukraine!
congratulations. Congratulations, you just won historical heritage. You don't get a prize.
Oh.
Wait, don't they get like funding?
Yes,
You
they do
get
get
funding.
funding,
Yeah.
So
but
that's like
not,
a prize.
but not for winning historical heritage, which is the segment we're currently on.
I want to give them a nice ribbon. I feel like we should send them one.
I think they're dealing with enough arrivals at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
we're looking at the Al Jazeera article here, which talks about how the United Nations Cultural Agency has decided to add the historic center of Ukraine's Black Sea port city of Odessa to the World Heritage Site to recognize the outstanding universal value of the site and the duty of all humanity to protect it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You can go.
as the city faces the threat of destruction. Just kind of an important little
Yes,
tidbit to
yeah,
add
it
at
is,
the
yeah,
end.
yeah. The entire city is in danger of being destroyed, but the entry for this wonderful site is so new that in fact UNESCO hasn't had time to put its full description up on its own site.
Yes, this is the
However,
UNESCO website, by the way,
yeah,
for those at home.
yeah, this is you can go look at all the fancy things we talk about here. However, they have posted what criteria have granted the historic center of Odessa its status, and that's criteria 2 and 4, which is to exhibit an important interchange of human values over a span of time or within a cultural area of the world, on developments in architecture or technology, monumental arts, town planning, or landscape design. So it's an entire district that is pretty much that makes very good sense. And number 4, to be an outstanding example of a type of building, architectural, or technological ensemble or landscape which illustrates significant stages in human history. So we can just see from the picture, there are a lot of very beautiful monuments and architecture in here. I am counting several different periods of history, all sort of on top of each other. Love the neoclassical stuff going on, by the way.
Yeah, which the city
Odessa is a beautiful city.
as it currently stands, it was founded in the final years of the 18th century on the site of a captured Ottoman fortress. But it also is quite the historical city, and it currently faces a lot of threats due to certain actions in Ukraine, unfortunately. But it shows that a lot of Odessa did suffer damage in World War II, but thankfully most of it survived.
Odessa is a beautiful city, guys. It's right there on the Black Sea. It is probably probably when you think of a port city, it's probably the picturesque port city in Eastern Europe or even in Europe as a whole, honestly. And it's a real shame that any threat would ever have to come to the city again.
Well, the it is a shame, and the name for the city is actually a fairly fitting one for a city built on top of a captured fortress, as Odessa means the wrathful one who receives pain.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, someone's receiving pain.
so yeah, not a thing to piss off. Also, very apt name for it in the 21st century. It's what's happening right now.
Which, with that being said, this was also, unfortunately, a very political and very, in a lot of ways, controversial listing. mainly because it was requested at the behest of Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, to try and protect the center, but also the fact that Russia, unfortunately, because of their actions, was very against it. But of the 21 member states of the UNESCO World Heritage Committee, um, or I'm sorry, 21 members of the World Heritage Committee approved the decision, 6 votes in favor, 1 against, and 14 abstentions. So the majority of votes were actually like, we're here, we're just not going to vote, and 6 members voted in favor.
I would have
Which-
to say,
yeah.
I would like to mention, um, obviously it's political in nature, given the current situation going on in Ukraine. I understand that probably for some of the countries who abstained probably have some sort of ties to Russia.
Or want to
But
avoid making a harsh political statement. A lot of countries are like footing that middle ground of, we're not getting involved, we're not going to vote one way or another.
yeah,
Which
and
is
I
something
totally
you need to do when you're not a world power.
Yeah.
and I understand that to an extent, but it is also a very important heritage site, especially along the Black Sea and nations that surround the Black Sea, like Georgia, Turkey, I believe is how they pronounce the nation name now, officially, and Bulgaria. This is an important trading spot, and historically.
Yeah, and the thing too is UNESCO has been in Odessa since 2022. The 1899 Museum of Fine Arts suffered damage last year, and it was UNESCO that oversaw and funded the repairs to the building. So, um, despite the limited number of votes of making it a World Heritage Site, UNESCO has been, basically considering it a an important cultural monument even before this very controversial legislation.
I just find it very ironic, and I think it is important to highlight, even though it's coming from their side, that even Russia admits to the historical value that Odessa has. However, they look at it from the standpoint of when it was under the control of the Russian state. And they claim that the only threat is because of Ukraine, which it is a part of Ukraine. And in 1992, it voted to be a part of Ukraine, but you know,
And well, the issue Russia wants to stress in this, is just if we're discussing the politics behind it, is that only 6 members voted yes, which, well, technically, UNESCO operates on the majority of votes yes or no, not the majority out of the total number of votes. Um, it is still a pretty small number in order to get this legislation through. And Russia also is looking at it from the lens that Ukraine has tampered with the city, having taken down a number of monuments, namely a number of Cold War era statues to Soviet figures.
also a statue to Catherine the Great in a de-Russification process, which, to be fair,
That one
a lot of
yeah.
former Iron Curtain countries have done.
Yeah, which the Cat the Great one, I am actually a little bit against on account of the fact that it was Catherine the Great who founded the city.
Also, I would like to also it is an unfortunate tragedy that we can't overlook that there are reports of Russian troops looting museums and other cultural city centers across the country.
Yeah.
So this is another way of hopefully preventing them from doing the same in Odessa,
Mm-hmm.
if it should come to this.
Yeah, but in the meantime, on the positive side, this is a historical center. It is, in our opinions, humbly offered, worthy of being on the list. And despite the tragic and controversial circumstances, I think we're all very glad to see another historic city center making the list, especially one that is as neoclassically beautiful as this is.
Yeah, but I think this is a good point to put a bookmark on this video because I think it designates, it shows what modern politics looks like when it comes to historic preservation and some of the things that may spur preservation efforts. And obviously, with it being in the news and being a very current topic, it makes sense to talk about. But like I said, on that note, we'll end today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Um, just so you guys are aware, we actually just launched our clothing company, the Humanitaire Collection, where we donate profits to charities of choice. This month's charity that we've selected is the Trevor Project, which works for suicide prevention for young LGBT community members. And yeah, we'll leave a link in the description. Check it out if you'd like. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video.